Hi everybody, today I'm going to make a quick video on all the fishing accessories that I use when I go fishing. So to start off, I'm going to talk about kind of the stuff on this side of the table and work my way over. So first off, I have a fish gill right here, and one thing I'd like to mention about this is how cheap these things can be. I actually got this for about $3 off the internet, and it goes up to 100 pounds, and it's electronic. It just takes a couple batteries, and it's a real nice utensil. So definitely something to have in the tackle box. It's small and cheap, and good to get a weight on your fish. Right here I have some garlic oil that I can spray on lures or even cut bait or even live minnows, and I think it does help attract the fish sometimes, especially when they're more finicky. So that's something to think of next time you go to your local fish shop. Right here I have some scissors and nail clippers, and this is great for cutting the line. These nail clippers are probably one of the favorite things to have in my tackle box, because you can get up right, if you have a little lure or something like this and you have a little piece of string attached, you can get right up to where the string ties on to the lure and clip it off real easily. Not only that, but these clippers are really small and compact, so they don't take up any space in the tackle box. Right here I have a hook remover, and this thing is really nice and saved tons of fish over my fishing career, but it has a really long handle and it has a little grabber right here. So basically what you do, if that fish swallowed the hook a little bit, you can go right down in its mouth, grab the hook, and if you almost push into its throat a little bit and do a little twist, a lot of times it'll pop the hook right out. Right here I have a measuring tape, but I actually don't bring this in my tackle box. On my boat and on my tackle box I bought a little tape measurer that just you can apply to a tackle box or a boat. So you can just kind of there's a little adhesive on the tape measure that you can just stick onto your tackle box or your boat. So that's something really nice to have, so you don't necessarily have to have a tape measure for that. Right here I have a stringer, and if you're planning on keeping fish, you definitely want a stringer. I also have a fish basket over here, and these fish baskets are nice, but they take up a lot more room than these stringers. So usually I just go with the stringer unless I'm trying to keep the fish I'm catching alive. Then I might bring a fish basket, because I think that does a little bit better keeping like crappie or bluegill or other small fish alive. But if you're fishing for like catfish or bigger fish species, the stringer is just as well as the fish basket, and it takes up a lot less space. Right here I have a little yo-yo, and these are great for putting out set lines for crappie, catfish. I've even caught some bass on them. Basically it's just kind of like almost an automatic reel. I have a video talking about one, but right here, if you take out some string and then you set this little notch down, it latches down. So you have your string going in the water. I usually tie off some monofilament line to the end of this, but when they take the bait, it'll pull this latch up, and then it'll be instantly a tug of war with the fish. So these yo-yos are really nice for doing set lines. Something I usually keep. I might keep a few of these in my tackle box in case I ever need them. Right here I have some fishing gloves that I got at Walmart. And these things were only about $3, so that was another good deal. They're really nice when you're dealing with fish with a lot of spines or teeth, or when you're filleting fish. It keeps you from nicking yourself with the knife, which would really suck. And talking about the knives, here's my fillet knife. These things are usually around $10 to $15. It's definitely something you want to have in your tackle box, especially if you're going to be keeping fish. Here's a little sharpening stone right here, and basically every time I go fishing and clean a few fish, I resharpen it before I put the knife away. And when you sharpen these things and you have one of these stones, you want to just kind of pretend like you're cutting off a piece of paper, or like cutting a slice off a piece of cheese almost. My next thing is some swivels right here, and here's a little, these swivels are really nice for lures like these little spin lures. So what will happen is your line will get really twisted up if you don't have these swivels, and a lot of people don't know that. Even rooster tails or any lure that you notice your line's getting real spun up, you want to get one of these swivels right here. And so basically what that'll do, it'll keep your line from getting tangled up, as it'll swivel the lure around. It's another nice thing to have. Here I got some pliers, which kind of can go hand in hand with this hook remover. And the pliers can definitely help in removing hooks and other things. You never know when you could use a pair of pliers when you're out fishing. Now I'd like to mention about these Alabama rigs right here. I recently got these, and they're really expensive if you buy the store brand at like Bass Pro or even Walmart, but I actually got 5 of these for $20 off the internet. off I think it was eBay, so that's a really good deal. I'll open this up here real quick. So this is really $4 what I have here. And I caught in this one, you can use them for bass and all kinds of game fish, but this I have set up for crappie fishing. Right here I have 5 little jigs, and in Missouri you can only have 3 hooks per line. So basically I have some jigs where I've cut off the hook. So there's 2 right here that don't have any hooks, and then these 3 have the hooks. But I have caught crappie off this, and it seems to work just as good, if not a little bit better, as the regular jigs. Just using a single jig. I mean, it definitely looks like a whole school of minnows, but a lot of times if you're fishing for like crappie, it'll kind of be intimidating how large it is, so you'll lose bites that way, but it'll also entice bites because of looks like a whole school. So it almost is maybe a wash, but maybe it's really good when you want to try to figure out what color jigs the fish are biting on. Right here I have another Alabama rig, and this one I use for bass, and these things won't always just work like magic and catch you all the fish in the area, but sometimes these things do outproduce the other stuff, and here's just a simple bass lure. I got some plastic shad imitations with some weighted jig heads. Got 5 of those, and if I was going fishing, I just did this for the example, I'd cut off 2 of the hooks. It's definitely something to try though next time you're bass fishing or crappie fishing these Alabama rigs. Here's a fish light attractor. I have a YouTube video on this, and I got this probably 3 years ago for about $20 off the internet. And basically it just emits like a really big green light, really high intensity green light, and it does attract a lot of fish. If you put them out at like 10 at night and give it a couple hours, you'll see a lot of little shad and minnows circling around the light, because it kind of starts the food chain. Basically plankton start coming in because they're photosynthetic and use the light to produce energy, and then the shad and minnows start eating those plankton, and then it goes down further down the food chain. You get to crappie and catfish that start showing up. So this fish light's something to look at if you ever want to do some night fishing. A couple more things here is I have my fish finder. I got a good deal at this. This is normally $100 at the store, but on Craigslist I actually found one that was barely used, and it was $50 and it worked great. It's definitely really nice in locating fish on my boat. It tells you the depth and will actually show the fish, and this does definitely help catch fish when you can actually locate them. Let's see. If you're ever bank fishing, here's a PVC pipe that I made into kind of like a rod holder for bank fishing. So basically I got a big piece of PVC pipe at the local hardware store, and I've cut off little sections so I can stick it into the ground, and then my pole can sit in here. So it's a really cheap rod holder right here for bank fishing. And then the last thing I'd like to mention is in this bucket here I have my cast net, and these cast nets are really nice. I'll get out here a little bit, but I've caught tons of bait and saved tons of money with this cast net right here. I made about an initial investment of about $40 at Walmart. I've been using it for about 3 years now, and I've definitely caught enough bait for how much this thing was worth, so I've got my money's worth out of it. But it's definitely something to look forward to or look into if you're gonna plan on doing like catfishing or even crappie fishing, because you can catch small shad for crappie fishing or bigger minnows with these nets. So thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you learned something new today, and maybe you'll add something to your tackle box. Good luck.